responsive stage, is that the solar? Does that go with the? No.
No, yeah, I'm sorry if that was confusing, but the solar, so the tutorial that you go through, that musical festival site, one of the web pages has a form on it. So there's several pages and you'll learn how to add class selectors. And then you'll also learn some other property ways to just format properties. And then you'll learn how to add a form and create a custom form. So for the homework 10 assignment, you only need to create a single web page with a custom form on it. So you'll just use the directions from Against the Clock. You'll use the logo that they provide and the text that they provide. But then you just create a form that supports the content. Mm-hmm. And the Bootstrap stuff, the Bootstrap is completely optional. And the responsive site, I just wanted to put that up now, but it's not going to be something you actually do until Module 9. Okay. The responsive site is the Project 3 and your final sites. And you can use Bootstrap to create a responsive site if you want to, but that's optional. Okay. But I just wanted to go ahead and present what a responsive site is and start that discussion forum in this module, because in Module 9, you're pretty much on your own and you're just working on your final sites. Mm-hmm. And then I'll be meeting with different groups before those final projects are due.
Okay.
So you can it's more just a heads up right now that you will be designing the responsive site for your final project, but that's not due in this module.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the homework is kind of just like you follow along in the book with the...
Yeah, so once you do the tutorial, it will give you instructions on how to set up a custom form. Mm-hmm. And then for the homework assignment, you don't turn in the tutorial files. That's just so you can learn how to use the tools and techniques in Dreamweaver. Then for the homework assignment, it's just that project builder assignment at the end of the chapter. And you will only turn in one web page with a form on it. And you just submit your root folder for that as a compressed file.
Okay.
And you don't need to upload that to your server.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, right on. And then I was also going to ask you about the final project. So, like, what exactly is the responsive redesign going to be like? What is that exactly?
Yes, and I'm hoping to meet with every group so that I can go over all the final projects with each group.
Right, yeah.
So, and you have a group. I'll have to look back to see who your partner is or your partners, and make sure you communicate with them in that Google Plus community. But yeah, so the responsive redesign, it's a little bit different this semester because I've done in the past where I've required them to redesign a fully responsive site. So what it is you choose one of your other final sites, either Project 1 or Project 2. So Project 1's your ePortfolio and Project 2 is the professional site. So you choose to redesign one of those sites to be responsive. What I did last semester was allowed students to use Muse because Muse has a simple kind of way to add the different screen sizes responsively. And so you could use that as an option, and you still can, but I'm phasing that out since Muse has been phased out. So you would need to use Dreamweaver, but you can use Muse if you already have it installed on your computer, for example. But what I'm doing since Muse is kind of phased out, I realized that using Bootstrap to design a responsive site was quite challenging for students for this class. So I'm going to leave that more to the intermediate web design class. So what you need to do is come up with a responsive redesign plan, but it's going to be further along than that initial site plan that you did for this class back in like Module 3. So it'll be somewhere between that and a fully designed website. But for example, if you choose to do the ePortfolio, let's say you design your ePortfolio in Dreamweaver and add that as a linked site on your final project. Then for the responsive site, project 3, what you can do is take that same site, the same content, because you're not presenting any new content from your ePortfolio, but now you're going to design it to be responsive. So rather than add anything, you're really streamlining it and stripping it down to a responsive format so that when you view that site in smaller screen sizes, like on a tablet or on a mobile phone, that it's going to work on that size and your graphics will be redesigned for that size. So if you have a 4-color logo with a name attached to it for your ePortfolio for the regular site, the responsive site, you might format it so that you make it a 1-color logo, and maybe you just use the initials instead of the full name because it's going to be seen on a much smaller screen. So just keeping in mind how it's going to be viewed. And then you would design it so maybe your images would be different, or you would have less images on the responsive site. And then you want to think about how the menu and the navigation might change on the responsive site when it's viewed on a smaller screen size, such as a smartphone. Okay. So that's how you'll be maybe redesigning your graphics and the logo and come up with a redesign on how it'll be viewed in different screen sizes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and hold on a second, I got my book right
here. Yeah.
And so the homework for tonight is in chapter 8?
It's project 5 in your textbook.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna share my screen right now and just go to that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have that tutorial open right now. It's called Desert Voices or Voices. And I just have the solarsignup.html page pulled up because that's the page with the form on it. And that's what you'll be using for your homework assignment, the form. So if I'm going to switch to design view. So you're going to start off, it starts off just with text like this, but then you're going to add a form to it. Let me switch this over here. By using the insert panel, you can change the HTML option to form. And then you would actually insert a form. And you can type in information. You can create a text form. Okay. And you can type in first name and last name, whatever labels you want to fill out the form. And so the tutorial goes over how to add this content and use the properties panel to format it so that when you are done formatting it, it's going to look like this.
Okay.
And then I could switch to live view to see more how it'll look in your browser. So then you want to make sure you include a submit button and a reset button so that the users can submit the form. And you can go back to the tutorial, it's stage 2 in the tutorial on how to create this form. But I also want to just show a student sample here. So this student sample, if I view it on the browser here, They actually created a website with 3 pages. You really only need 1 page. So there's like a home page, then a save money page, an installation page, and then the sign up page has the form on it. So what's required is just this page. So you only need to create 1 web page with a form on it. So they used this logo that was provided by Against the Clock, and then just use appropriate text to go along with the sign-up form. And so this is how they approached their form, having spaces to type in first name, last name, email, telephone number, and then they've got a select form so you can select, answer this question, what type of residence would you like to add solar power to? And then they've got some check boxes, and then the sign up and reset button. And then there's also a button that goes back to the home page.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, as far as the assignment, though, you only need to create 1 web page with a form on it. And you want to have, a good amount of options here to fill out that makes sense. So don't just put 1 text box in the form, but give some options to a form that makes sense for the content. And so when you submit it, you will just submit that root folder with the HTML page and any graphics that are linked to the form, just as before. And just like the club assignment, then you'll zip that root folder and just submit that entire compressed folder.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's
Yeah.
all my questions, really. I appreciate your time, video and me and about answering them, I guess.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I'll get on that.
Okay, great. All right. Yeah, just let me know if you think of anything else, and hope you enjoy the rest of this rainy day.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All
You
right.
too. Yeah.
Take care. Bye.